Baby Driver is a cinematic masterpiece directed by Edgar Wright that revolutionized the heist genre through its innovative fusion of music and action. Released in 2017, the film represents one of the most original and technically impressive audiovisual experiences in recent years, where every movement, every shot, and every chase sequence is meticulously synchronized with an eclectic soundtrack that serves as an additional character in the narrative. The story centers on Miles, known simply as Baby, played in a captivating performance by Ansel Elgort. Baby is an exceptionally talented young getaway driver who works for Doc, a criminal mastermind played by Kevin Spacey with his signature blend of charm and menace. Baby suffers from severe tinnitus resulting from a traumatic childhood car accident that killed his parents, a condition that forces him to constantly listen to music through multiple iPods to drown out the constant ringing in his ears. This medical necessity turns into an artistic obsession, turning him into a compulsive music curator who records conversations and ambient sounds to create elaborate mixtapes. The relationship between Baby and Doc is complex and multifaceted, based on a debt Baby incurred after stealing a car from Doc as a child. Doc discovered the young man's natural talent for getaway driving and decided to use him as his exclusive driver for a series of elaborate heists. Over the years, Baby flawlessly executed dozens of jobs, developing a legendary reputation in the Atlanta criminal underworld for his almost supernatural ability to escape any situation through precise and instinctive driving. Doc's operational method involves recruiting different teams of specialized criminals for each job, combining complementary talents but never using the same individuals consecutively to avoid detectable patterns. Baby remains a constant due to his unique skills, functioning as a liaison between different groups of robbers, including volatile and unpredictably dangerous personalities. Prominent among these criminals are Buddy and Darling, a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde couple played by John Hamm and Isa Gonzalez, whose intense romantic relationship fuels a symbiotic criminal dynamic. Buddy is a military veteran with advanced tactical skills but a fiery temper, while Darling combines lethal seduction with absolute loyalty to her partner. Their chemistry creates both operational strength and emotional vulnerability that eventually compromises the stability of the operation. Bats, played by Jamie Foxx, represents the most unpredictable and psychopathic member of the group. Violent by nature and suspicious by instinct, Bats constantly questions Baby's loyalty, suspecting the young driver may be a police informant due to his behavior unlike typical criminals. This paranoia creates constant tension that threatens to explode into violence at any moment. Baby's life is completely transformed when he meets Deborah, played by Lily James in a performance that perfectly balances sweetness and determination. Deborah works as a waitress in a 1950s diner where Baby frequently stops after work, attracted both by the vintage aesthetic and the ambient music that complements his own musical preferences. The romance that develops between them is presented as pure and genuine, in direct contrast to the violence and corruption that dominate Baby's professional life. Deborah dreams of traveling across the country, exploring America through roads connecting small towns and iconic landscapes. Her dreams of freedom and adventure resonate deeply with Baby's repressed desire to escape the criminal life. Together, they begin planning a romantic escape that would represent both geographical and existential liberation from the circumstances that bind them to their current lives. However, just when Baby believes she has finally fulfilled her debt to Doc and can retire from crime, she discovers that Doc has no intention of letting her go. Doc coldly explains that talents like Baby's are too rare to waste, and that the organization needs her services indefinitely. This revelation forces Baby to recognize that there is no legitimate way out of the criminal life and that she must find more drastic alternatives to secure her freedom. The situation becomes dramatically complicated during a robbery that goes catastrophically wrong. The operation, which should have been routine work, turns into a bloody shootout when Bats loses control and kills guards unnecessarily, alerting the police and forcing a desperate escape. During the chaos, internal tensions within the group explode, with mutual accusations and violence resulting in deaths within the team. Baby finds himself in an impossible position, having to choose between loyalty to the criminals he's known for years and protecting the woman he loves. When Bats directly threatens Deborah, Baby makes a decision that will irreversibly alter his trajectory, killing Bats to protect his girlfriend and signaling a definitive break with Doc and the criminal organization. What follows is an epic chase through Atlanta, where Baby utilizes all his driving skills in a desperate attempt to simultaneously escape the police and the remaining criminals who now view him as a traitor. The chase sequences are choreographed with musical precision, with every swerve, every brake, and every acceleration perfectly matching the rhythms and melodies of the soundtrack. Doc, proving to be more dangerous and determined than Baby had anticipated, pursues him relentlessly through the city, using all the resources of his criminal network. Buddy, consumed by rage after Darling's death during the shootout, becomes the main antagonist, driven purely by a thirst for revenge against Baby. The final confrontation takes place in a parking lot, where Baby must simultaneously face off against an armed Buddy and the surrounding police forces. The battle is both physical and psychological, testing not only Baby's survival skills but also his determination to protect Deborah at all costs. The resolution explores themes of redemption and consequences, showing how past choices inevitably shape future possibilities. Baby faces a justice system that must determine whether his final actions were enough to make up for years of criminal complicity, while Deborah must decide if she is willing to wait for someone whose past could definitively compromise their future together.